Welcome to Deep Thought. Learn to investigate before coming to conclusions. And you could actually add that on to when you're done with some other person. But, what inspired this wasn't that. But just real quick, let me add what I just talked about in a previous episode. Investigate. Whenever you see something, don't come to any conclusions before you investigate it fully. And even on videos, I don't make any assumptions. I'm going to tell you the truth because assumptions been made about me. I don't make assumptions about people based just on a video because I don't know them. I don't know the circumstances, situations, whatever, right? You got to investigate. But you know what inspired this video, ironically? It was a crack in my, I have a window over to the side here, right? Big old window and stuff. And I remember, I got, these lights and everything. So, and I had a shade closed. So I was doing a video last week, one of these videos last week. And I remember, so it's like I finished filming, uploaded to my computer so I could edit and all of that, to my laptop so I can edit. And I was opening the window and I saw what looked to be a crack. And I was like, oh Lord, what the fuck? It was like hairline thin, but it was still there. And I could see it. And I was like, shit, I gotta get this fixed. I gotta pay some money and get this fixed, right? So, and I thought I didn't do anything for a few days because I was like, well, it don't look like it's gonna crack the whole window right away. So I said, all right. But then I was out there it was out on my balcony watering my plants and everything. And yeah, Rom got plans. Yeah, something else y'all need to know about me. In fact, I gotta get a new plant because one of them, man, long story, like passed away. Anyway, right? Yeah, Rom got plans. Rom's sensitive like that. I got plans. Yet another thing y'all can have about me. But anyway, I was out there watering my plants, so I looked at the thing again. I looked at what I thought to be a crack. It was just a spider thread. Some spider had gone across there, laid something. It wasn't a web, it was just a thread. I just moved it. I was like, oh, my hand, I just moved it and stuff. But, the lesson though, and I thought about that, the lesson though was I needed to investigate it fully. Like before you make any conclusions about something, investigate. Don't just jump on something, say, oh, this is it. You don't know. If you don't know anything about another human being, a person, don't come to any conclusions until you know the whole story. Like you really don't, because let's be real. And I talked about, well, I forgot which video, but I've talked about MACK before. You don't really know a person from what you see on the outside, or even using what I talked about out there. Like your version of who this person is might be different from 10 other people. And none of y'all might be correct. You have to investigate. You can't say this person's on this until you've investigated. Because, we got our biases, we got our stereotypes. And that's with anything, investigate, find out what could be going wrong at first. It could be like for your car, like my car, I say roughly a month or so ago, it was having some trouble. It would be cutting off at weird times, not starting fully, even at a light, because I got one of those cars that does an auto stop whenever it stops. Y'all know what I'm talking about, so to save the engine. But a couple times it cut on, it cut off, but it took a lot to get it back on. I was like, what the heck? And I'm thinking all this other stuff. I took it to the dealer. They investigated. They were like, oh no, this is just the wrong battery. Because they had been replaced battery by, I ain't gonna call the company's name. But and they replaced it for free. They replaced it, put the proper battery in. But I needed to investigate because I didn't know what the conclusion was. It could have been a whole bunch of stuff. Could have been something with the starter and everything, but it was just the battery. And I was like, well, this battery is new. It's like, well, yeah, that's why we're gonna give you a free one. We made a mistake. My bad. But you can't come to a conclusion. You gotta take your time and investigate. Like a person, you can't come to a conclusion about them until you've done an investigation. Have you talked with that person? Have you said something, even on videos? Sometimes people get in comments, and I've seen this on numerous videos, not just my own, but numerous videos. People will say, well, this person's this or that. It was like, no, you don't know what that person is. Do you know that person personally? Do you know what they're doing? You got to investigate, you know? Like when you come up with any situations in your life, investigate it first. Some go wrong, investigate first. See what's actually wrong, you know? See what's actually wrong. You know, it was, let's say, okay, people remember when I had a stroke, right? I have a kidney doctor who was actually investigating, trying to investigate, okay, what caused this stroke? Because it was connected with my kidneys. And I mean, and they investigated, they looked for cancer, they looked for some other stuff. It was none of it, but I still had an issue. But they investigated. Now I'm taking something for that issue. And it was just something that would cause my blood pressure to go up, you know? It wasn't natural, it was like a hormone or something. I forgot what it was called. But they investigated before, the doctor investigated before coming to an outright conclusion. Because I remember the doctor said, look, we got to look at a lot of stuff. Because he threw out something, I was like, you know, at first I was like, well, just take it out. But then I thought about it. It was like, nah. He was like, okay. But then it was nothing to take out what he thought it might have been. But he had CAT scans and everything. It's like, oh, okay, this is the issue. Boom. CAT scans, blood tests, urine work, all that stuff. But he investigated. He didn't, because he didn't come to a conclusion at first. He didn't come to a conclusion. He had to check. He said, look, we got to check and see what a bunch of stuff is. We got to check first. And even that, even talking about the stroke thing, I had people trying to hit me up saying, you need this and that. I was like, I don't know anything. I just throwing some stuff out. It was something completely different. So, you know, that's the thing. You got to really investigate. Don't come to a conclusion. That's one thing I've learned. Before I come to a conclusion about a particular person, I need to see what's up, you know? Now, as far as how they interact with me, yeah, I can say, okay. Because I know within myself, I can say, okay, you know, this person has shown that they are bothersome. I can't deal with them, you know? Now, in cases where I needed to investigate, I would see a whole lot, say, oh, that makes sense now. And there's some, you know, I got family stuff, personal stuff I don't share with y'all. But I would investigate. I'd say, why are they acting this way? Oh, okay. I get you. So but before coming to a conclusion, always investigate. Sometimes stuff ain't as bad as you think it is, or sometimes it's a simple solution, or just don't have that idea, oh, it's this, before you've investigated it, okay? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. Think on this. Peace and blessings, y'all.